Good morning, YouTube. It's balmy 34 degrees this morning. Yep, that's right. Early May, 34 degrees. The high is like 58 today. It's supposed to be 60 something tomorrow, but whatever. We're going to finish the Chickmahall today. I have on the floor here the door. 3 cross members, 2 verticals. When I cut the dado into the verticals, I decided to put the cross member in the middle. Don't do it. Put the top of the cross member at 2 feet so you can put hardware cloth across the bottom and the chicken wire across the top. Didn't do it. Had to come up with something fun for that. Don't want to waste the lumber to cut another one. So we're going to slap this bad boy together. I'll show you the other parts. I have 2 1x4s cut at an angle. These are for cross support. I'm going to put one the bottom right corner and one in the upper left corner. That should keep it from sagging. Even though it has dados and rabbits, it can still sag. Little latch kit. You can decide how you want your door to stay closed. I'm going to use this latch. I'm not installing the latch until after the door has chicken wire on it. I'm going to build the door, I'm going to mount the door, and then I'm going to chicken wire the entire side and then put on the latch. 2 hinges, door hinges, easy. And then I decided that I wanted to put a handle on it because it's tray chic, yo. I love using rabbits because they taste good. No. Do check per square. You'll be much happier if you do. Trust me. The key to happiness is the square corner. You can hear the chickens fighting back there. Just fed them. That's what they do. Party like it's 1999 and fight when they eat. It's not stopping any of them from getting grossly big. Ugh. But tasty. All right. I've put the chicken wire on the door side only. And I'm so tired of the manual method that I actually broke out the pneumatic stapler and used it to put on, well, all of the wire that I put on now. I'm tired of all that other stuff. The reason I didn't use the pneumatic stapler from the beginning was they're really small staples. And I'm thinking these won't hold. But at the number that I'm putting them on, thinking maybe they will. So this is all an experiment for me. Chicken wire, staples, pneumatic staples. It's fun. All right, let me show you something. I did make one little change while you were gone. I put these little stop blocks at the top and the bottom opposite the hinge. And that makes sure that the door no matter what, is not going to go crashing in on the chickens. Super bonus if you make it so that that support doesn't crash into that support. But boom, nice and solid. Right now, I have the hardware cloth just overlapping the chicken wire, but I will be taking some baling wire and attaching these points to make it harder for a raccoon to climb up here and try to squeeze through there. Now, can it? I don't know. Raccoons are pretty tenacious, and there are some here, so I've never seen one, but I've been told. So you can see I stapled the crud out of this, every point that I could, top, bottom, all the way up here. I'm actually turning the video back on, so when I do the other side, I can show you how I did this side, which is basically one big sheet, and then I cut it. Extreme close up. Now, I am this tall, and having my arm parallel to the ground means that I want my handle to be right here. You can put your handle wherever you want, but this is where I'm putting mine. But size it intelligently. You don't want to be like reaching up a foot over your head or playing around at ground level for a handle or a latch unless you have to. I did actually buy 2 latches for this on the idea that I might want to secure the top and the bottom. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the first latch, and then we're going to give it a tug test at the bottom with the latch kind of right here in the middle, and see if I think that a coon could pull it out. Now you might think, well, what about a bear? If a bear wanted to get into the chicken tractor, there's nothing I can do to stop it. I might consider the engineering challenge of making a bear-proof chicken tractor. Ooh. But really, unless you're making it like a prison with bars and out of steel with bars that are a half inch apart, all welded together, I don't think that you're going to stop a bear. I do have bears here, or so I've been told, in the backyard, and a cougar. I saw one last year. But the electric net so far has been super effective, and nobody has messed with anybody. They didn't mess with the pigs, they didn't mess with the chickens, and everybody was in the backyard where all of these terrible monsters are. Behind me is vacant land, and behind that is more vacant land. So they can run around back there all they want. And if I'm doing this wrong, you're right, I didn't read the instructions. I figured I could just figure it out. I'm going to put this connector about halfway in from the edge, as opposed to all the way out here on the end of it, because if there's any swelling, shrinking, etc., I want to give it room. It probably says that in the instructions, but again, C did not read them. It's no wonder he has problems with hinges. He doesn't read the instructions. Yep. Of course, it'll be super funny. The first time this latch locks me in, because there ain't no way I'm getting to it. So I will be putting a string that goes up here so I can let myself out. This is the kind of crap you have to foretell so you don't end up in that problem. Yeah, I'm testing it every time to make sure I didn't just screw it out of whack. All right, let's go move on to the other side, and we'll get with putting up the chicken wire. All right, it's all fastened up, so we're going to cut it with a cutoff wheel. If you exceed the wire and let the cutoff wheel kind of sit on top of the wood behind it, it won't mark the wood. It's not going to hurt the wood if it marks it, but it makes a nice clean cut if you just exceed the wood just a little bit. I'll get you closer so you can see. Going to be getting rid of these nylon straps. It was an idea I had yesterday, and today it's no good. Cool. So what have we done here? We've put on all the chicken wire, all the hardware cloth. We've mounted the door. We've put on the hardware for the door. It needs a tarp. Now, because I'm doing this on a budget, I actually have two different tarps. It's the free one. You get Harbor Freight. Every time they put that up there, go buy some pathetic little thing and get me a free tarp. It actually takes two of them to cover this thing. So I'm going to set you up and I'm going to mount it. It's going to be fun all by myself. I'm just going to use some tie wraps. I'm intentionally leaving the bottom sides open because I found that the chickens just love sunlight. I mean, in the chicken tractor I made, I should have left the front quadrant just wire because they're always moving to the edge where the sun is and trying to get a little bit of vitamin D. So I'm going to make sure they have plenty of places to get vitamin D from, but still have protection from the rain. Please, rain. I would like some rain. Come on. Now, when I attached it to the top and to this side, the top on both sides, I only hooked it up to the chicken wire. That's not a good connection. I'll be taking another nylon tie wrap and securing it from the nylon tie wrap to the 2x4 to make sure that it's got a nice strong wood anchor, not just wire. But that's going to be a problem on this whole side because the tarp only comes to here. I could get a bigger tarp. bad boy needs a tow rope. I happen to have a piece of rope slightly under a 1/2 inch diameter that is 12 feet long. And last year I bought a medium duty 100-foot long hose. It's crap. So I've cut a 5-foot length off of it. And I'm going to thread this into it. Well, not exactly that bit, because I'm going to cut that off, but I'm going to thread that into it, and then I'm going to thread it through the 2 1/2 inch holes I'm going to make in the front of the chicken tractor here. Even though it's named Chickmahall, it's still a chicken. My wife came out and declared it the most un-ghetto thing I've made yet. I think that's a compliment. Pretty sure. She likes it because if I have to leave and she's going to help me out, now she doesn't have to bend over. She can just go in, get the job done. It's awesome. I like it too. That's why I'm going to convert the chicken tractor to this too. Now, there's no problem with the chicken tractor and its bifold lid. It actually works really well. It's just you're always lifting the roof. Some of my lumber just fell down. Come on, rope. The rope doesn't want to come out. It's like, no, I don't want to come out. Come on, you can come out. Ugh, watching for rope coming out of hoses is almost as boring as watching someone staple chicken wire onto wood. Alright, how am I going to get this through there? So while I'm working on this, I got a question for you guys. For you experienced chickeners, what do you use? How do you keep the perimeter of your chicken safe? Do you do the 2 wires on the ground, 2 hot wires on the ground in the perimeter of your chicken tractors? Do you do like I do, where I have an actual poultry net that I power all the way around the chicken tractors, which includes the area that I'm going to move it to? So I put out, let's see, 128 linear feet of perimeter, so I can move the chickens a lot of times without having to move the fence. Or do you do something else? Do you just let it go? I've seen some guys that put little metal flaps on the bottom of their chicken tractors and goes on the ground, so if somebody comes by to dig, they dig into, like a wire mesh, and they're like, oh, I can't dig in there, and they just walk off. They don't have any electricity around it at all. But how do you do it? Let me know. Put it in the comments below. I'm going to get this rope to come through here, and then I'll turn you guys back on. So around the chicken wire, there's this really fine wire. What I did was I shoved it up through the hose. It came out quite easily, and then I just wrapped it around the wire, wrapped it around the rope a few times, and with a gentle tug, now the rope has come through. So that's awesome. I'm going to drill 1/2 inch holes on both sides of the front here, get these ropes to go through, tie a knot in them, and then we'll drag this bad boy out in the field. Rope to pull and push this thing when it's on wheels. I can just use this handle if I wanted to, but I'll tell you what, having this hose over the rope makes it so your hands will be much happier. Especially when you're lifting it. All right, there we have it. 2 hanging 5-foot feeders. That should get them through Maybe all day. Well, right now. I mounted a bucket with a spigot on one of my corner sports and tubed it over. The hose is kinked in two different places, but I double checked that the water is actually flowing out of it. So the nipple water they've had in their brooder, which is effective. This gives them enough room to lay about. Now, if you didn't watch my chick log, you'll know that the feeders, you always want to make sure the feeders make them crane their neck just a little bit, because otherwise they'll sit down and eat. And sitting and down and eating, not cool. It makes chickens that break their legs. So we don't want chickens to just lounge around and eat all day. Just a little bit of effort to eat. So I'm going to get this out in the field. I'm going to fill it up with chickens. Bring you back. I'm thinking with my terrain that I might want to get like 12-inch wheels. Not for moving my tractor around the yard. I'm going to want to get 12-inch wheels for getting it from all the way up there by that building all the way down here. So we're another 30 feet past the 80-foot wide garden, which is, man, it ground out lots of times. And everywhere where I had a little dip from where the tractor drove in the mud, a little swell, it's all flat now because I pulled that front 2x4 over all of it. But let me tell you, it got through. All those holes you had to watch me dig yesterday, some of them are full again because the tractor just drove right over those piles. But hey, I got it here. So that's good. Now I can fill it with chicken.